97% of people plead guilty, but they are not found guilty. Please tell me how economics and racism plays a role in plea deals, and what would happen if more people decided to actually go to trial.
For the last 50 years, I don't care whether the defendant's white, black, brown, red, yellow, 97+% of the defendants in a penitentiary have pled guilty. Just a little more than 2% got found guilty. 84 to 87% confessed. Now, I'll get back to that in a second. One of the problems is that we as a people make it very easy to become caught up in that. Because remember, the whole system isn't about control of crime. It's about control of surplus labor. So if from the start you have not gotten a vocational skill, you have not promoted your academic standing, you are going to be a primary target. Plus, you look the part. You can't blend in. I have a 2-block rule. See, white folk, Mexicans, Asians, everybody, they kind of blend in, particularly since they have the same kind of hair from 2 blocks away. You can tell us looking by the shade, by the walk, by the hair from 2 blocks away. So you become a target for your appearance, and you serve a vital function for the whole country by being that target. But what happens is also how we deal with the situation. I had a set of first-degree murder cases in my courtroom, 6 co-defendants that the state was demanding the death penalty on. They carried off a contract killing. The people who took the contract out, carried it, had it set up, couldn't prosecute them because they kept their mouths shut and just said, hell with you, I want a lawyer, I've got nothing to say. The rest of them fessed up because they get scared. And they're always scared. You see, fright, yielding to fright is not a man thing because you're supposed to be brave, but they're not really brave because what looks like bravery is an effort to get killed. You know, you've heard of suicide by cop. There's also suicide by neighbor and suicide by drug. And then when we get to the confession, oh yeah, see, they made the brother, confess, they tortured. Nuh-uh. I know this from being a criminal defense lawyer, and you can't tell somebody what your client has told you in confidentiality, and what you hear them telling their parents and their homies ain't what they told you. Nor when you're the judge in one of the highest crime areas in the United States, had the 5th largest state criminal jurisdiction in Memphis, by absolute numbers in America. It went LA, New York, Chicago, Dallas, Memphis, Houston, Miami, and Detroit in that order. And gentlemen, are we going back to chambers? Are you ready to go back to chambers so we can look at the tape of the alleged confession? Yes, sir. All right, Madam Court Reporter, can you set up in 10 minutes? All right, everybody in court's chambers in 10 minutes. And you're looking at this, and in your mind's eye, you just saw the defendant out in the courtroom when we take a recess, and he's talking over the barrier to his homies. Yeah, man, I was upholding, man. I was standing firm, man. They trying to put this case on me, man, but I'm protecting the posse, man. And you get back to it, you look at the confession, and not only have they thoroughly advised him of his rights, this detective is telling the guy, look, young man, you really need to get a lawyer. This is a very serious case. I don't want no lawyer. I just want to talk to my mama. You let me talk to my mama every day. I swear to God. Give him a Kleenex. Wipe your face. Can you stop a little bit? I just want my mama. It wasn't me. It was stuff in the land, man. He saw down there and they let me do it, man. I swear to God, man, they let me talk to my mama. First off, it's embarrassing, Oh, you look at this, so you go back and you say, excuse me, these individuals seem to have any an interest, let's say, and let's say you came in there to testify about a bond reduction. You're short dog, right? You're a little stomp. You stomp your little Earl or something. Take them into custody. These are the ones you've been looking for on this case. No bond set. The defendant, in his confession, was crying, mucus running all down his face, crying for his mother, literally. And he implicated these individuals as suspect in these multiple homicides, you know, so.
What is the disconnect between, because I tell young brothers too that, like, man, with the crime thing, one, you always have to do it with somebody, and that person's going to tell, right? But it's like, it's a disconnect between the music, the movies, and the reality.
Yeah, usually the people that give you the imagery have no part in it, and they get themselves caught up in street mess trying to get cred, and they get blown away, done in, because they don't know how to handle what they're doing. Some of them, for example, were little nerds going through high school, but you wouldn't know that by the way they get presented. They were smart. I mean, they have facility with the language and rhymes and, you know, all kinds of stuff and metaphors, so they're not unintelligent. It's just that you see, if you listen to the music, 60 years ago, it's got a job, you know, got lots of money because it just got paid, but nobody to be with or somebody lamenting circumstances. And now it's a glorification of pimps, hoes, drug dealers, and everything negative.
Using. That's the next thing, junkie generation, you know?
Yeah, but you see, the generation is not one. We've got two generations that have been into this. See, the first baby boomer was born 1946, and the last one was 1965 or early 66, depending upon how you deal with it. Then from 66 on, you got another 18 to 20 year period, and then you got another one after that, and now we're into the third one since the baby boomers panned out. So you've got three generations that are being brought up with negativity and the wrong kind of ideation. And the difference between these last three and the baby boomers is, what'd you say, boy? Bam! I don't want to hear this. Like this video that's been going around on X, used to be Twitter. This father is working, and he comes in, and his little daughter is twerking. He pops on her, but what's wrong with you? And they're going, he had no right to do that. Yeah, he did. That's daughter, old dime stuff. But you see, fools have been propagandized into thinking that's wrong. And it didn't even start out with black folk. It was Dr. Spock, who wrote an insane thing back 1961 and 62 saying you should never strike children, you should always reason with them. So I guess instead of having instant discipline that matches what the real world does to you when you mess up, it doesn't explain till it happens right now, bam, you're gone and done.